So I'm getting an interesting download right now. My guides are saying, look at the fives in the queen's hand. Okay, weird lines are going by, so I'll just start my sentence over. The fives in the hand of the queen, somehow it's like a bolt that the wrench can turn around. There's something pivotal about the fives that, and what they're saying, they create a kind of motivation. So there is a fresh, clean energy about Queen of Clubs that is like, because they're so early in the Mercury line, they come with a fresh perspective, in a sense, to something. And because their karma card is the Three of Hearts, which is karma to the Ace of Hearts, that's a very powerful card, the Ace of Hearts. And when you think that that's their ascending Venus, maybe their way of relating to people has something to do with that Three of Hearts. Let's look at the spiritual spread a second. Well, spiritual spread sitting smack dab in the middle. There's something. Hey, Jeannie. She was with me on my other channel. Okay, so if the fives are pivotal to the queen, let's look at the mundane spread. So she has Five of Clubs in Venus, descending Venus, and Five of Spades in descending Neptune. I'm getting that is... Okay, so Dr. Sue, tell me what you think, because she's a Queen of Clubs. She's you're a Sag, Queen of Clubs, so she's also the Ace of Spades, but ascending Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, also the Eight of Diamonds. How do you relate to that five? Because what I'm seeing is that it's like a spatula, and it's getting up under Lord Master Cat. Queen of Clubs is the human hub, totally the networker archetype, right? I mean, my Queen of Clubs friend, Michelle, like, if I'm looking for anything, do you know anyone that makes keys or does, reflexology, or do you know really good whatever? She knows. She always has an answer. And maybe it's because of the openness of the Five of Clubs. It's like I'm seeing it as an open flower or an opening flower. I got to make a change to be balanced. That's what Dr. Sue says. Spot on, the spiritual spread. Interesting. Well, the spiritual spread, she's got Five of Clubs ascending Neptune, Five of Diamonds descending Uranus, which would point to like a special gift or an ability or something that comes quite naturally to them. Oh, I think I'll just pivot. And it's not a big deal to them. They're just like, yeah, I don't want that anymore. Now I want this. And it's not, what's the word, starts with a P? Precocious? No, it's not. It's in the movie Clueless. I don't know. Anyway, it's not lighthearted, sudden, impulsive. Oh, I'm going to make this change. It's more like, okay, I can't sit with the five of anything makes me restless. Oh, that's interesting. Well, I wonder if that's because you're a Sag, and Sages like to have the direction and know where they're going and move forward. It's kind of like a Mars energy, even though it's Sag. Is your Decan, is that Aries? I'm wondering, because you're in the first decan of Sagittarius. Your birthday's coming right up, which is our anniversary of moving in this place, which will be 2 years. But anyway, yeah, you have a really strong Aries energy, and I think having to make a change can be really frustrating to that energy that just wants to move forward. But I think there's such a freshness. Oh, and there they have the Five of Hearts too, sitting under the Five of Clubs, descending Venus. So I think what my guides are trying to say is that it's your asset. And I would imagine that your processing speed is much faster than the regular person. So what feels like a deliberate shift or change of mind, it's like you actually process it very quickly and then change course, new idea, new direction. Yeah, and you hate being in limbo, don't you, Dr. Sue? Yeah. Um, because I have a 5 of spades in Mercury. Okay, so it's descending Neptune. It's my Mercury card or my ascending moon. It's a comfort zone when I'm in a higher vibration. It's adventure. It's presence. It's being in the moment, just being really comfortable with whatever's happening, just like a child. 3 of diamonds is the decan for the Sag, Queen of clubs. Thank you. Mercury, and then 5 of spades, it becomes their Jupiter. Yes, you're able to pivot very quickly. Yeah, and I think it's another sitting in the center, the Jupiter intersection of everything is available to me, and it's a prosperity mindset. It's not a lack or limitation. They have the 7 of diamonds descending Uranus, and I think of Uranus as a special genius, the genie. Uranus represents the genie. It's a lot of other things, but on a personal level, I look at it and go, "Oh, is that my personal genius?" So that would be the King of Hearts for me. It's like, "Oh yeah, the whole realm of emotional maturity. That's my thing. That's my genius." And the 7 of diamonds is the genius for the Queen of clubs. So they have this mastery of, I know that I'm personally worthy, and what I have to contribute is it's worth money, it's valuable, it's unique to me, only I can do it. They've just got this in their skin. Okay. Genie, who is a 5 of diamonds. Queen of clubs usually have a long, hard journey, long journey when it comes to relationship, but that's because they have a lot of responsibility with the knowledge and resources they've acquired. I think that's really true. As such, they have to find the people worthy of them, and it's hard to see it sometimes, so they have to guard against giving too much to the wrong people. Well, that definitely rings true with the Queen of clubs that I know. I mean, she's had a Florence Nightingale caretaking program, had a narcissistic mother, so it's like, she came equipped with all that, baggage. But she has a level of, I don't know, adulthood about the whole thing. And part of that is that 10 of spades in their mindset is a spade. They have the ability to kind of sit back, take it all in. And there's a maturity about a lot of them. Yeah, Jeannie, I really agree with that. Thanks for bringing that out. Marilyn M. Spade, what does planetary ruler represent? Yeah, and Dr. Sue says, I see that 3 of diamonds as multiple opportunities. Well, of course you would. The planetary ruler, yeah, okay. Dr. Sue is confirming Jeannie's analysis. Yeah, with that Queen of clubs. They have such an infinite capacity to give and nurture and love and anticipate someone's needs. I mean, they are the ultimate giver. They're like, Mother Mary. So they do, and they're so energetically sensitive. They have to do a lot of self-care to stay balanced, and a lot of setting boundaries, a lot of internal work. So Maria M., I'm going to get back to your question. The planetary ruler card represents, it's different for different people, but it's like your secondary card. It's am I answering your question? What does a planetary ruler card mean? It doesn't mean it rules you. It means, what is the planet that rules your signs, your sun signs? So like if you're in Aries, you're ruled by Mars. So the planetary ruler of Aries is Mars. And so your Mars card is your second strongest personality card. And I've seen a number of people that they gravitate towards it because either it's easier or the family dynamics set them up for that, or it's what their soul decided to work on when they came in. So it kind of varies. And I also look at the ascending planetary ruler. So if you're looking at Mars, you go Mercury, Venus, Mars, 3 to the left. Try going 3 to the right and up, and you'll get a totally different take on like potential expression. Caretakers. This one that I know is literally a caretaker for elders and people with disabilities. Yeah, the Queen of clubs I know is a former nurse. They have to remember the Ace of clubs and care for themselves. It's okay to be selfish. Absolutely. And then when the Ace of clubs becomes a self-advocating, or no, when it becomes in service, They advocate for others to take care of themselves. So you would look at all those ascending cards as how do they serve with their Mercury speech? How do they serve with their friendship? How do they serve? And this Three of Hearts, so non-attached, no attachment, so little baggage of friendliness. How do they serve with the King of Spades in ascending Mars? Am I getting that right? Yeah. Encouraging other people, it's their mission to take charge of their lives and get their ducks in a row. See how it's like always, how do you give this gift to someone else? Jupiter, what would be their expansive natural outflow or gift? It would be abundance with the Eight of Diamonds, but also helping other people step into their Jupiter by claiming their convictions and what they're unwilling to compromise. And hey, be your own CEO. Take the risk of looking like an asshole right now and just tell me what it is. So as a life coach, they would like pull that out of somebody. Okay. And yes, they are super psychic. Talk about their dreams. Ooh, interesting. Yeah, my Queen of Clubs buddy, Michelle, has had a TM practice, Transcendental Meditation. She's also, oh, these words just sound insulting, but they're not, attached herself to or latched onto the Course in Miracles. And it's like, it's her path. And I think it's incredibly important that they ground themselves in a practice, a path, and say, this is my reference point. This is the well that I come to nourish myself. Has a significant influence over the decisions I make. Ace of Spades. So she's answering Maria's question. Her Ace of Spades planetary ruler has influence over the decisions she makes, keeping secrets for one, sharing bits and pieces. Interesting. Mary says, the top line crown cards, what planets do they associate with? Only vertical, only their vertical influence. So the crown, like this horizontal influence, is about authority, power, influence. There's probably something else kind of astrological, familiar, esoteric. Oh, sun. That would be the sun line. Yeah. Too bad there's no moon line, right? You ever thought about that? Okay, so anyway, it would be the sun line. Why is that Joker there? I don't know. It's a really good question, isn't it? So yeah, vertical Saturn for the King of Spades, vertical Jupiter for Eight of Diamonds, vertical Mars for the Ten of Clubs. So you can think of them as though having that influence kind of on steroids, because the sun is like, I am discipline, I am expansion, I am possibilities, I am task and passion. Yeah, Ten of Clubs are like, oof, all the cards in that crown liner. They're a lot to handle until they get a handle on themselves. And they don't, they didn't particularly want to like intimidate other people or whatever. They've got their stuff. It's just really visible, isn't it? It's very public because it's sun. It's the sun line. Jeannie, not so much super psychic, just by virtue of the place we sit in the spiritual, which bleeds over into the mundane via downloads. Mercury, Mars. That's very interesting, Dr. Sue, because it's actually kind of nice to hear that there's a Queen of Clubs out there that doesn't consider herself to be super psychic. Would you consider yourself to be highly sensitive? And so all the club females out there, this conversation is pertinent to you. And if you have a club, say in your Mars position, like I do, 9 of Clubs in Mars, the Queen of Clubs is a very important personality vehicle for me in career and disseminating information, which is exactly what I'm doing right now. Coming to this with a Queen of Clubs energy. And I'm definitely, really psychic. And have you noticed how that's on the increase lately? It's like crazy. There's like mind reading going on right now. Lordy, say it loudly. My 8 of Diamonds, twin toddler terrorizers, and the 10 of Clubs hubby. Oh my God. Somebody has to be flexible. So of course you're the 5 of Diamonds. And you can laugh at it. 5 of Diamonds have a great sense of humor about everything, even if it's really hard. We're in here. It's been a while. Hey, Soul Knowledge. How are you? Yeah, it's been a while. I just get out of the habit. I'm out of pain now, thank God. But I haven't established my new modified schedule yet. But it is going to include doing readings on Tuesdays and Fridays. Tuesday afternoon, Friday kind of more around 11. And I'm doing one today just because I feel like it, because my guides told me to. They're like, do it. And I'm like, do I have to? And they're like, yeah. Okay. So, Jeannie, we only left so we don't cry, right? The Queen of Spades, Mercury won't allow it. Yeah. I've noticed that with my Five of Diamonds friend, Jess. Like, they have to have kind of a strong outer shell. Do you exact perfection from yourself? How does that Queen of Spades, since we're talking about queens, let's segue to the Queen of Spades, the queen persona. She's nurturing, she's wise, she's authoritative, she can be tender, but like when mama gets home, like, she's not going to be cruel, hopefully, but she's going to put things right. She's going to see into the situation. What's underneath that teenager's behavior? Whereas dad will be like, you're going to practice. She'll say, it's that girl, isn't it? The queen is insightful, so could really use some energy forecast updates for the King of Diamonds. Okay. How do I do that? How would I go about doing that? Well, here's an interesting thought. What if we took the astrology of the day of your card? Like for today, if we take the astrology of this one thing I'm really familiar with because everyone's talking about it, all the astrology channels. We have transitioned from Pluto being in Saturn to now being full-time in Aquarius. We dipped into it last year and then we went back to Capricorn for a while, the Saturn, Pluto thing, and now it's in Aquarius. So look at how your card would relate to that in particular. So look at your Saturn and look at your Pluto and your Uranus cards and see how those are activating. So for the King of Diamonds, your Pluto card is the 10 of Hearts, descending. Your Uranus is the 6 of Diamonds. I would say ascending Uranus would be more relevant. Time to make a change, maybe regarding groups of people, change of job. I sense new life happening and something coming to a close for you, just going straight to my psychic ability. It's like I look at that configuration and you're asking, what's my purpose? What am I supposed to be doing? Like, what did I write down for myself before I came? That 6 of Clubs, dharmic work. What's your genius? How can you, so talk about letting go of programs. The King of Diamonds are so responsible. So if you're letting go of some old program regarding family or people, 10 of Hearts, what does that free you up? What changes does that free you up to make? And how can you tap into your own personal genius? And I would say that that's a Pluto in Uranus long-term big picture thing for all of us. Well, hi, Maisie. Hi, Miss Maisie. How's my little 3 of Hearts? Dr. Seuss says, highly sensitive to downloads. We receive them before everyone else and disseminate the information to the collective. We all have a cosmic connection to the Queen of Clubs, making others receptive to downloads. I love that. That's really cool. Yeah, there is an ability to anticipate. And I would venture to say that that's true of all the queens because mothers can anticipate what's going on, that mother energy. I see what's going on there. And she may really grok, okay, this whole family needs a restructuring and we need to clean up our diets. We need more physical activity, whatever download she's gotten, because dad's going through this and the family dynamic is changing. And so like she bides her time before she says, okay, here's what's going on, everybody. And these are the changes that we need to make. Makes sense to me. King of Clubs, Uranus for you. And Four of Hearts, Pluto. So a genie as the Five of Diamonds is taking what I just said about the Pluto and Uranus, looking at those two cards and maybe looking at their relationships right now. Your ascending Uranus would be Queen of Diamonds, Queen, stepping into your Queen. Grabbing some authority, girlfriend. In working from home, so a lot of online communication. It's really, you're very cute with your paws, and every once in a while you hurt me. And you've got eye boogers. Clean that up. Little sweetie. My dear sweetheart. My cute baby. Yeah, yeah, that's okay. Yeah. Working online, communication, and really doing things differently than I've done it before. And of course, I'm in third house year. Oh, I wish I understood that. Third house year, which is Uranus. I just don't think I know how you guys in the card world use the word house, which is Uranus ruled, and Pluto is going into it. So that's the house of communications, and so changing the way I communicate. Lore Master Cat, find you weekly, 7-week, or yearly spread to know the energies you're currently moving through. There's online sites to help you calculate which spread to use for the weekly and 7-week. Yes, helpful knowledge. Thank you. What is your perspective on UFOs and UAPs affecting the planet and timelines if the cards give an indicator toward those global events? Ooh, very enticing question. And I just wanted to drop this too. This was a download that I got in our last live. Whatever card you've got right now for that 52-day period, look at where it sits, both in your, this whole chart, like if you're 78, there it is, or where it sits in the mundane and spiritual spreads. And you can be like, why am I so Mars right now? And then you might, get some clues about like, oh, that card, that even if you're in your Venus period, that card is the intersection of Mars. I got to get this Uranus energy together with all their moons floating around them. Just lassoing those moons. So the UAP, it's Jack of Spades. Oh my God. Yeah. Okay, so I was thinking about doing a reading for the United States. I don't know how the cards would speak to those global things. I would say planetarily, we can look at maybe public figures. Yeah, that's kind of a frustrating thing about the cards is like, well, we could just throw some cards. Hey, let's throw cards on the UAP question, unidentified aerial phenomena. Although most of it's identified, right? My perspective on the UFOs and UAPs is that there has been kind of a quiet fight in the background to control how it gets disclosed. And that fight is becoming a little more visible because I think our star family has set a deadline with various presidents and said, look, if you don't come out with this by such and such a date, we will force your hand. And even though there's a prime directive of non-interference, we've already been so heavily interfered with that it kind of cancels that out a little bit. So I do think that, spiritual forces, love, God, creator, Jesus, it's all connected with, it's inevitable. It's definitely happening. And can you feel it in the ethers that it's just like the level of reality of it is just kind of sinking in? Even if you've believed in them or even experienced them, the reality of it is penetrating more and more deeply, which is really cool. Okay, do a reading for the USA. It might look like chaos. Let's see what the cards have to say about aliens. Alan. 4 of clubs. You're not going to lose your mind. This will make sense. 2 of spades. We are your friends. We come in peace. Seven of Diamonds. We're weird. We are from some other planet. Robert Camp's book, the little inset for the Seven of Diamonds and love cards, is they're from some other planet? Well, I know I am. I think this is just a wink and a nod to that. Okay, Eight of Diamonds on the bottom, which means what I'm hearing is we all want the same things. Yes, planetary partners. This will help things make sense. We are your friends, and like, you think we're strange? Hello? Like, we've been watching their all-star wrestling like for the past couple decades, and it is like so fucked up. Why do you do it? Everybody knows it's fake. Like, how is that even entertaining? I just don't get you guys. You're so bizarre, and you think we're strange? Oh my god. So that's what the cards have to say. That maybe that's what the aliens have to say. I think they came up with this. So I remote viewed the origin of the cards one day. Didn't know what I was looking at, but what I saw were some happy little aliens dropping something off and then zooming away. And then this thing that they dropped off evolved with the planet over millennia. And so, yeah, I think it came from them. Shout out to Vince McMahon. I don't know who that is, but hey, shout out to him. Oh, I missed a comment. I missed a number of comments. Spirituality is being ramped up on TV movies. Magic is a buzzword. Isn't that interesting? Oh, I love that observation. Makes me think of that Alien Valiant Thor. I think he was Venusian. Oh, my Two of Spades card. Oh, you're the Two of Spades? Or you partnered with a Two of Spades? Oh, wrestling. Oh, okay. Pivoting values, breakdowns, or breakthroughs are breakthroughs. I love that interpretation of the Seven of Diamonds. We're all one big family. They have a lot to say. Okay, what else? Aliens, what else do you have to say? Two of Diamonds. We are your partners in what we want, and we will partner with your whole financial realm and like have abundance for everybody. We're going to speak some truth to you. We're going to be maternal and speak some hard truths to you. Mother Mary is in league with them. She's one of them. She's going to be like, okay, children, we need to talk. Okay, let's look at the United States. I was thinking about this today. I'm like, every time we go into a new 52-day period, I should do like a peek ahead, because astrologers do like, or tarot readers do like a peek ahead for the month of December. I listened to Laura's View and Tarot too. And I was like, I could do that at the beginning of every 52-day period. Turning to the Jack of Diamonds. We are looking at the 68th thing. Confirm to me if this is what you're looking at to read for the United States. Age 68. And I wish I had it written in here. Silly me, I don't. What is the planetary breakdown for the 4th of July, 8/25, 10/16, 12/7. Oh, the day after Dr. Seuss' birthday, December 7th, we go into Jupiter. So let's look at Mars. We're wrapping up Mars. We'll just go straight to 68. We can look at long-range cards later. Okay, plate 68. Here it is. If you want to take a quick screenshot, this is the United States this year. Is that focused? Yeah, you can take a screenshot of that. We are sitting in the real estate of the Nine of Spades. The Six of Spades is only renting. Okay, but we are indeed coming to balance. What is karma? It's the work of coming to balance. There is a destined timing to things. Everything that's happening this year is really important, and time's up. It's now. Nine of Spades means we're dealing with the death and ending of a whole bunch of stuff. Crypto is probably alien currency, which probably represents the Two of Diamonds. I'm just throwing wild guesses. I love that. Hey, have you noticed XRP? Holy shit. So I bought $50 worth, like, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago, just on a lark. It's worth $200 now. From 50 to 200. Like in the last month, it's just gone, buy some XRP. I wish I'd bought more when it was cheaper, but don't we all? Okay, so Mars, ascending Mars, Mercury, Venus, Mars, we're finishing up a Jack of Clubs energy, which is sitting in the real estate of the Six of Spades, but also the Two of Spades. So the Jack of Clubs is innovation, a revolution in how we're thinking. Hopefully we're finding humor in things. Oh my God, the memes have been fucking hilarious lately for some of us. The Three of Clubs in a Nine of Hearts year in 2025 is going to be something else. You mean when we turn next July 4? A Nine of Hearts year. 69. I don't see Nine of Hearts. Where's the Three of Clubs? I'm not connecting. We had Three of Clubs and Venus. In Mars, we have Five of Diamonds, Four of Clubs. So we have, if we do the descending, we have Mercury, Venus, Mars, Five of Diamonds, and the Pinnacle. So all Five of Diamonds are going to feel really famous and rich. No, it's a call to self-mastery. It's a call to taking personal responsibility. And this is something that I talked about in my other stream. If there's something that you're triggered by that's going on a national level, take note of the trigger. Write out why it bugs you. Don't be afraid of being petty and judgmental. Just write it out. You know, they should, and they're so, and oh my God, I can't believe that. They, da 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 da. And then turn it around and be like, okay, this is why it's triggering to me, is because I need to really look at this stuff within myself. So the Queen of Spades, real estate there in Mars, hopefully that's been going on. We've been doing that. So in a more broad sense, the Five of Diamonds means the financial system is changing. Yeah, so the whole BRICS thing, right? I mean, everything is changing. Everything is changing. The ground under our feet, the people that are being appointed to cabinet posts, the international conversations and shifts that have already happened. And he's not even in office yet. Things are shifting and changing, and it's a lot of change. I think it's incredibly positive because it's about rooting out a lot of corruption. It's about exposure. I think a lot of the cabinet appointments that we were dubious about, like Dr. Oz, God, the people he's hung out with, like Mariana Abramovich. Ooh. I mean, you just know he's into dark shit. You just look at his face and you can tell it's exposure. I mean, it's a chess move. And then there are people who are like, oh my God, we need transparency, like Kash Patel. Just watch any video of his lately and you're like, oh my God, right? Honesty. Hello? Change of values. Maybe we can all come together with some of the really positive things that are happening, like RFK, health, taking additives out of our food, investing in our children's health. He said, the question is, can we love our children more than we hate each other? It's like, oh, that's so good. Okay, I gotta catch up with everybody. 10K. Yep. Saturn is always a ride, right? Trump threw BRICS a threat recently. Wasn't that interesting? He said, find another sucker. We're not getting rid of the mighty US dollar. And we're like, mighty US dollar, really? He's exposing something, I think. Get ready for a lot of life coaching next year for the first 6 months of 2025. Yeah, interesting. That's, I feel like, Dr. Sue, you're so positive. And I know we don't see eye to eye politically, but you're just so positive, and the energy of what you just said is like whoosh. It's like so many people can take off in their personal lives and get clear about their convictions. If the Five of Diamonds is sitting in the pinnacle position. You are in your own CEO position to ask the question, what do I really value? What do I really want for my own life? They're dark magicians. Oh, they certainly are. So yeah, I've been listening to Patriot Underground. Tonight he's going to have a really great conversation with somebody about like what did that mean? What did that whole thing mean? I think what it exposes is the fact that we do have a fiat currency, and it's not based on anything real and valuable. It's not gold backed. We got taken off the gold standard. Inflation has just gone wild. I mean, just print more and then send it to Ukraine, and then just print more and then send it to Israel, and then just print some more. Meanwhile, our grocery prices like $7 for a jar of peanut butter, $8 for a tomato. You're fucking out of your mind. Right? Oh my God. So anyway, I do think that on some level, whether it's the universe or the white hats behind the scenes, have let this lunacy just do its thing so that everyone can get on board with the absurdity. Oh, I'm glad you like RFK Jr. Isn't he wonderful? I think he's JFK Jr. sometimes. Everybody makes mistakes. Like Bozy, the Australian guy, he was talking, he goes, with JFK Jr. in there, and he just like continues on, and I'm like, he knows something. And he didn't realize what he just did. Oh, I love him. I love the Eight of Hearts, JFK Jr. I did a whole video on him years ago about, I was like, JFK Jr., if you're watching this, I love you. Anyway, I think he's a very important historical figure, like past life type thing, right? And the cards, you can track past life stuff. Often someone will reincarnate as a card in the hand, a card in their hand, because they need to resolve something. Okay, get this. So this time last year, like 5 or 6 people that I knew died, like within a month. And I was able to sort of look at their death date and be like, okay, that's the thing that they didn't resolve. And that seems to be the theme. So test that out. Tell me what you think. Okay, I lost a lot of viewers when I got political. Oh, well, people love us anyway, don't they? It's okay. It'll be okay. Definitely don't like them tariffs. Backyard gardening is coming back big time. Yes, like in the 50s, 60s when everyone had a garden, right? Yeah, the tariff thing, I don't know enough about it to speak to it. But I've heard some people say historically, like if you go back 50, 75, 100 years or whatever, that's the way it was and it worked. You're still here. Yes, you are. Okay, so when we go from Mars into Jupiter on December 7th, it is a very, very powerful time. Okay, do my guards want to tell me anything else about the Mars? It's so deep. So ascending Mars is Jack of Clubs. A lot of creativity. Yeah, a lot of creativity, a lot of new stuff. A lot of, hey, if the FBI, if the corruption were rooted out and it was honest, then maybe we could use it for da-da-da. Or maybe if we got rid of, like with Doge, Elon Musk, if we got rid of all this excessive spending, then like maybe we could, I think there's creativity here. That's exciting and fun to think about. And we have a lot of youth represented by the appointees, which is, I like that too. I mean, youth is anything under 50, right? To me. Okay, so we're going to the King of Spades. There is this one guy going around saying that he's the real RFK. Do you mean JFK Jr.? In Aquarius, and things weren't weird before. It's about to get as weird as it gets. Genie, people gonna have to learn how to cook. Yes. Right? I mean, like, I don't know if he's gonna come out or not, and I think that kind of thing needs to start happening. Like Princess Diana, that some insider said, and I hope I don't get like killed for saying this, but I won't tell you who said it, but it's an insider that I do trust on a channel that I really trust. And he's like, oh yeah, I was talking to some dude who was like, they'll kill me if they find out I tell you this, but he worked for MI6. And he said Princess Diana is under the protection of the CIA because somehow of the Clintons, and JFK Jr. was under the witness protection of MI6 because of something else. I don't know. But it was kind of like, okay, I didn't tell you that. And this was years and years ago. So anyway, going into the King of Spades. So as a nation, as we move into this Jupiter King of Spades, it's King of Spades, karma card, King of Spades, other karma card. It's fixed. I think the chickens have come home to roost. I think it's that now moment. I think there's something about that Saturn energy, the positive, the vertical energy of Saturn and that King of Spades. That's like, Papa's home. Papa's a good man. I'm not alluding to Trump. I'm not alluding to anyone in particular. It's more like an energetic, Dad's home, and things are going to be reckoned with. The P. Diddy list fucking comes out. The names on the Epstein list fucking come out. The child sex trafficking, the satanic ritual abuse, all of this shit is stopping. Because it must, and because it can happen. That's the Saturn energy of like, this is happening. There's no two ways about it. And I feel like the message of the King of Spades and Jupiter is, it is time. Crash the economy when it gets released. You do wonder, are you talking about the Diddy list and all that kind of stuff? Because America thrives off the black market. It's true, right? The amount of money that comes in through porn, it's like, ooh. Oh, and the interconnectedness of everything. It's like, if we're going to retain a semblance of the Red Cross and the UN and all these other things that are involved in child trafficking, oh my God. Yeah, you can't just blow the whole thing up. You have to reform it and do it somewhat gently. But I do think that we're going to, okay, I was going to say we're going to face some kind of earthquakes, but no, it's not going to be like, I think that King of Spades energy is not going to be like an earthquake of like, oh, the shit's going to hit the fan and it's all going to be fucked up. It's more like somebody coming and saying, this is the way it's going to be from now on in this regard. This change is happening right now. And like, maybe some people will be adversely affected by it, but on the whole, it's going to be the right thing to do. And it's going to be mostly beneficial feeling for everyone. I mean, that's the feeling I'm getting with this upcoming period, which does it include the inauguration? I don't think the inauguration date matters, frankly, because I think, well, I think you guys know what I think. It does matter because it's an important day, right? Okay, so it goes through January 29th. Yes, our Jupiter period. Interesting that inauguration day falls on a 7 of diamonds. What do you make of that? I don't know. I think it's kind of weird. Uranus tilt allows it to show what can't be seen. It's the only one looking at things from its own unique angle. Whoa! Pluto and Uranus. Transformation, exposure, disclosure, lifting the veil. Wow, that is so powerful. That is a mouthful. The Uranus tilt, because the planet is like say like this is not tilted and Earth is tilted a little. Well, Uranus is like almost like this. And it's like showing its underbelly. Yeah, and it's a very unique perspective. I love that. Makes me dizzy. Okay, what is the ascending Jupiter card? It's the 2 of diamonds. Aliens! I don't know. This ascending Jupiter right here, so Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, 2 of diamonds, where the 5 of spades lives, 4 of diamonds occupies it. I would say that's change. What do you guys think? A lot of conspiracy theories about the election results, them tarot readers. Well, back at you for 2020, right?
Are you doing reading?
I'm doing a live. Hi. How's it going? Good. He's the two of diamonds. And he just walked in. That's really funny. The envelope is in my purse, which is right here. Here. Did you see the map though? I mean, like, it had teeny tiny, the map by county, the election map by county, it had teeny tiny little red specks. I mean, blue specks here and there. Are you living in a blue bubble? The media would have you believe it's 50-50. It is not. The American people said, okay, enough already. Like, hello? Yeah, on so many fronts. So, wow. Okay. I would also advise that people be wary of new cult leaders popping up everywhere. Pluto rules Scorpio. Yes, the 8th house of occult, and then Aquarius is the collective groups of. Would that also be exposure of cults like the Vatican? Who runs that joint? Novus Ordo Seclorum is coming. New World Order. Definitely giving false prophets for control. That's interesting. I think I definitely think about the exposure, even in the truther community. Like all of a sudden the shills are just like, the curtain gets pulled back. It's like, no more of you. Like at the very end of an interview where Jay Weidner was being interviewed on Beyond Mystic by Jean-Claude. I love Beyond Mystic. I love Jean-Claude, but Jay Weidner, ick. Total ick. And it was a really good show. It was very interesting. But at the very end, he goes, yeah, like I call him the Dark Alliance, and it's Corey Good and David Wilcock. And Jordan Sadler will be joining us, and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, are you seriously still bashing on Corey Good? Like, he's probably 2.0, and you're calling David Wilcock part of the Dark Alliance? I left this comment, and I was like, no more Jay Weidner ever for me. That is just like, it's like 80 to 90% like truth and good material, and then they drop this shit in there, and then people are like, oh, is he bad? It's like, oh God. So yeah, I use your discernment. I think that's a lesson that we've learned over the last 6 years. In a way, we had to, because we have been conditioned to just believe because someone says it. Like when they said, here, this jab is effective and it won't hurt you. And you have to wear this thing on your face and stay 6 feet away because that's science. And it's like, first of all, that's not science. Science disproves that has any effect at all. And everyone complied because someone said it, which then set up the foundation for the whole, oh, I really shouldn't go there. I'm a cat because they say I'm a cat. I'll just throw that out there. It's like, so discernment. Yeah. If you don't figure it out, just, yeah, maybe you deserve the consequences. No, that's kind of mean. Anyway, so the King of Spades in Jupiter, shall we look one more step? I think the King of Spades is also about really big organizations. Like it's the father energy. So like we're watching the fall of the Rothschild. Oh my God. I was listening to this other interview of this woman who was a sex slave from the age of 6. And, she's like, oh yeah, David Rockefeller's pedophile and blah, blah, blah. There's all this shit that happened to me. I mean, it was Kathy O'Brien all over again. And she's from New Zealand. And it's just so fucked up. It was so fucked up. And I was in a really good space to listen to it. And it's like, wow, I've come a long way to be like, yeah, I know I need to listen to this. I was guided to listen to it. Why did I bring that up? Oh, because the Rockefeller Foundation, that they established modern medicine, banking industry, all these like posing as father energies. I think, with all this stuff that you guys are talking about with Pluto and Uranus and possible exposure, I mean, like we're watching those families just fall apart and be exposed. And it's going to be so freaking exciting, I think, for all of us to just be like, oh, thank God. Even if you're on the other side politically, you're like, a bad person is a bad person and they just got exposed. And that's a good thing. So I think my guides told me on my birthday about 8 years ago, I went into this altered state camping looking at a fire, and they showed me a bunch of people waving checks around. And then the next thing they showed me was people at Starbucks looking at each other like, are you a pedophile or are you a pedophile? I'm pretty sure you're not a pedophile. So like, I think I can trust you. And the world was going through the shock of the revelation of how pervasive it is, how there's a culture, there has been a culture of it in power circles through blackmail and all this. I'm not even going to talk about it, but anyway, the card of the name for aliens is the 8 of diamonds. 8, really? I think it's a 7. Yeah, I lost my train of thought because I was just like, oh yeah, the father figures, the Saturnian control things. Perhaps we're going to see good father energies, protective, unselfish, authoritative, powerful, but for the good, for protection. So, I watch YouTubers somehow, like, they don't want to put their behind the ear. They like this hangover look, but they're always like doing this. And I'm like, just put it behind your ear. Just do this. They never do it. Oh, that was just so non sequitur. Okay, here I do it again. The next card. Okay, this is the last thing I'll talk about. So the Saturn period, which is January 29th to, let's just say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It will go into March, right? So that's all of February, like the 3rd week of March. February into March, we have the 6 of Hearts. So we drop down here for the Saturn card, another 6. But that is the home of the 8 of Hearts. I think in that period, we will see a lot of birthing, a lot of new beginnings, maybe a sense of safety for the inner child. The 6 of Hearts is harmony, balance, karma, but there's something soft about that card, isn't there? Where does it live in the spiritual spread? It lives under the 3 of diamonds, which is Uranus, Mercury. Whoa, Uranus, Mercury. So Mercury, Uranus is the queen of diamonds, and I have her right now in whatever period I'm in, and I'm having so many huge, like, download insights. So I think that's what Mercury Uranus is. I think that's revelation, but it's of a more personal nature. And yes, I'm getting that from the 6 of Hearts. That's interesting because 6 of Hearts is my Pluto, and that's like my big thing, my transformational. I'm here to transform through downloads. So, and maybe that is about peace and harmony and coming together, coming back together, maybe healing the rifts between families and age groups and political parties. And maybe that represents some healing, right? Saturn, but it's a 6 in Saturn, and we're displacing 6 of Spades twice. So it's painful. David Wilcock talks about the karmic burn and how it's like super intensifying right now. And that's what I talked about on my other stream, is kind of how to flow with it, a really intense homeopathic dose of this and this and this. And do you still want this? And here's this dysfunctional relationship pattern. And here's this old program. And here, do you want it? And we finally get to say, no, I don't want that anymore. And I think that's some of the work of the 6. Isis Marie Frequency, hello. How are you doing? So I'm just about to close it out. Let's look at the ascending Saturn is the 7 of Hearts. Whoa, so we have 7 of Hearts, ascending Saturn for February, talking to the 6 of Hearts, descending Saturn. So what that means is forgiveness and healing. Oh, you're putting me on the big screen? Oh, you're going to see some really big hair. She puts me on the big screen, sends me a picture of, like, look at my hair's going to be really big in Dr. Sue's living room now. Yes, you will catch the replay. Okay. So, yeah, 7 of Hearts, 6 of Hearts. I wonder if part of this, too, and I have to put this before you. I have been speaking with a tremendous amount of vitriol against pedophiles and satanic ritual abusers and the fucking Rockefellers and all that kind of shit, right? So when I'm of a more Christ-like mind and I connect with Jesus and I'm like, what do you think about this person? He's like, they're my beloved child. I love them. They're on their path and you don't really know anything about it. And I love them. I love them. I love them. So David Wilcock is he's the only truther out there I know who's like, hey, forgiveness, and really that's not my job to judge them. I do think it's important that we have justice and that it's exposed and that it stops. But we can't stop at pointing the finger. Justice isn't the last chapter. Reconciliation, healing is the last chapter. Now, don't ever rush it. Don't ever skip to the end. You have to go through all the anger and pain and healing and stuff. But I wonder if that 7 of Hearts, 6 of Hearts, I just feel like it's too early for that. But the 7 of Hearts is self-forgiveness, other forgiveness. I think as a lot of these revelations come out, one of the, as people realize they've been fooled and duped by mainstream media, by entertainment, by movies, by music, by everything, once they realize they've been deceived and misled, intentionally manipulated, there is a lot of shame that goes with that. Realizing, I don't know, I didn't go through that, okay? I hated Trump and I was a very faithful Democrat up until right after he got elected in 2016. And then I woke up and there was no emotional charge to it at all. I just saw it and I went, oh. So I don't know. The whole awakening process is something that it's kind of a mystery, right? It's an individual thing. So exposure is happening, and I think we just have to trust, reach to your spiritual power, find your ground, find your foundation, and trust. We're leaving that 5 of Diamonds and going into the King of Spades. So it's King of Spades. The Circle of 7, I think of them as spiritual archetypes, God and human interface archetypes. King of Spades is creator God. So I would really encourage everybody to connect with source, with your source, the source of life. Yeah, I think that's going to be a really cool period. And it's a time for ancient karma, Atlantis, Lyra, all kinds of ancient karma, because the Circle of 7, whenever I'm doing a cosmic connection reading and I see that people have that connection, I always pick up on ancient past lives, like before we knew how to measure time. So I think this could speak to the healing of all the Atlantean stuff. So our culture is a real hybrid of Atlantis and Lemuria, right? It's not just pure Atlantis, it's been infiltrated with Lemurians. And I wouldn't say, well, maybe I would say balance. I don't know. That Lemuria was pretty great. I don't think it needed fixing. But anyway, shameless plug. If you haven't had a reading from Kismet, it's worth it. Just want to put it out there. Oh, that's so sweet. I do have so much fun doing just the $45 email Cosmic Connections. So just go to my website, look for Cosmic Connections. It's probably under readings, or maybe it has a separate heading. And it gives you my number, text me, say, hey. And then I'll say, I need your birthday, your email, the general nature of the relationship. And then I do this really fun little psychic journey. It's almost like I remote view what I'm permitted to see in terms of what your question is about the relationship. Like, what's the nature of this? Is this a shit show? What's going on here? And sometimes I get very detailed past life information, and it is so much fun for me. And I think it's a great gift idea, just to gift someone with a Cosmic Connection report, like do you and their card, or maybe them as. I don't recommend doing it if it's not you, but like you in a relationship with someone else. And I just did one for a mother-daughter recently, and it was very sweet. And didn't get any feedback, which really bummed me out. I was like, was that accurate? I was like, so stabbing in the dark. But anyway, thank you for your plugs. And like, share, and subscribe. I never say that, but it's like, yeah, hit the like button. It helps the algorithms. And somehow, oddly, people end up finding me that don't even watch these videos, which is really cool. Okay, thank you, Google. Anything else? Does anyone want to say anything else? Should I draw one card from this deck as a departing gift for everybody? If you want to go over to my, it's a lot shorter on my personal channel. I did a reading with these cards. Oh, did you just give me the tennis ball? Are you drawing me something? There's the tennis ball. Okay. I'll throw it across the room. Okay. Here. Okay. Okay. So go ahead and ask a question if you want. Your own personal question, which is this between you and God. Draw a card for crypto. Ooh, I will. Okay, the crypto windfalls. Yeah, it's like, it is so much fun to just open up. So I have an Uphold app, which is, you can buy XRP with that. And then like, I just pop it open and I'm like, where's it at today? It's like, so what's silver at? Okay, this is for cryptos. 5 of diamonds. Change, it's changing. Financial freedom. This is for XRP, particularly 6 of spades. Oh, there's some destiny around this. Wow. This is really powerful. This may bring some balance. Okay, silver. Buy some silver really quick. Buy it now. Oh my gosh. I have so much silver. This is incredible. Incredible news. Oh, I'm so glad you asked me to do that. Okay. And now for the, I've been keeping my eye on the Uphold account since Trump won the election, right? Yep. And ever since he won, it's just been going, yeah, it's really taken off in the last couple of days. So here's a card for everyone. Oh, my little sweeties. Okay. We're going to throw it all the way down the hall. You ready? Ready? Oh, what a little sweetie. I'm investing. Do invest. And know this. God will take care of you. The economy is going to be amazing. Everything's going to change. Income tax is going away. A lot of things are going to change, and everyone will benefit. Don't worry if you haven't bought this or you haven't bought that or like da-da-da-da-da. Don't worry about it. It's going to be better for everybody. Plus, everyone has their own relationship with money, right? This is for everyone. Heal the Ouch. It's a very cute card. It's a little raccoon with a little fox. It's got a headache. Card number 38. Okay, that's the 36 is the king of diamonds. No, 39 is the king of diamonds. So 38 is the ace of... I don't know. I can't think. Okay, 38. Queen of diamonds. It's the queen of diamonds. Tell someone the truth, even if it's painful. That's what I would say. The putting together the queen of diamonds with the heal the ouch card. Reversed. This card is a message urging you to make amends for any harm you've done to another. Appraise yourself honestly. How have you been selfish, greedy, or inconsiderate of others? Have you harbored resentment toward those who have harmed you in the past? This is really about making peace, isn't it? Practice deep and radical forgiveness. In order to be free to know healing, you must surrender your old hurts and begin anew. Forgiving yourself and loving yourself is important too. Be humble and willing to admit to your weakness. Know the imperfections of the human personality. Walk tall as you take the path of the shaman and the wise elder who is willing to go into the shadows to bring healing light to old wounds. So this is like own your shit when it's reversed. Ouch! Talk about the queen of diamonds, right? Zowie! Okay, Jesus, gently reveal this to everybody and please cleanse us of self condemnation and self-judgment, and bring clarity through open, humble hearts, with compassion and just your profound love. Help us to open our hearts to whatever it is we need to see. And so it is. El Rey! Hey! Bye-bye. I'm going now. Peace and love to everyone. Thank you for showing up at the very last second to be like, peace and love to everyone. That's just so sweet. And your card. What's your card? Your card is the final message. El Rey, are you the 2 of spades? I always forget. I have to let my other dog in. Yeah. So what's your birthday? What's your card? Okay, Max. Do you want to come over and say hi to the camera? Come here, Max. Max. Max, come. Jump up. Okay, Maisie. Okay, Max, jump. Come here. Come here. Oh, Max is the best dog in the world. He's my black lab. Queen of Diamonds. No freaking way. Unbelievable. Do you love it? And Soul Knowledge is the 2 of spades. Isis is the Ace of Diamonds. Queen of Diamonds, Ace of Diamonds. You are precious and valuable. That's the Ace of Diamonds. Trust yourself. Have fun. Yeah, isn't it so synchronistic? God, I love it. I love you guys. Parting is such sweet sorrow. Okay, I'm going to go now. Bye. Have a really, really great afternoon. No, you're the 9 of Diamonds. Okay. Yeah, that didn't feel right to me. Anyway, yeah, have a good one. Thank you, Dr. Sue. Thank you, everybody. Sorry, I'm not like thinking of everybody's name, but yes, and I have 5 of Diamonds. Why can I not think of your name right now? Gina, yes, thank you. Thank you guys for all your wisdom and your contributions and playing with me. This was really fun. Okay, have a good one. Bye.